Home is the hunter, high flown and contented. Home is my lover, all sins were repented. Noble intentions, words oh so fine. Never again will you let me down. Never again will I pine. Never again will you call yourself mine. Why did you change so? No real explanation. Still unaware of my humiliation. Calmly expecting life to go on. Never again will I be ashamed. Never again put upon. Never again will I turn and you're gone. I'd give the world to believe nothing has happened. I'd give my heart to the man I once knew. Oh, how you loved me, strong, passionate, gentle. Now you perceive me, all but incidental. Words count for nothing, only for show. Never again will I suffer this. Never again fall so low. Never again. But there's one thing I know. Never again. Never again. Will I love a man so?
I'm now joined by Sierra Boggess, the one, the only. How you doing?
Hi, I'm so good. How are you doing?
Well, I'm fantastic, especially after that performance of Never Again. Your voice is offensive. It's like seamless. I can't even stand it.
Yeah, that's my thing. I just like to offend people with my tones.
It's unbelievable. It's so beautiful.
Thank you.
So we have a friend in common, and that's Francesca Zambello.
Oh.
She directed me and Cara Lindsay, who I talked to earlier, in Little House on the Prairie here in Minnesota at the Guthrie Theater.
That is so amazing.
Yeah.
Some of the cast came to see Little Mermaid, actually, from Little House on the Prairie, I remember.
The tour.
Yes.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Oh, that's so cool.
And Francesca would talk about Little Mermaid all the time, and so you were definitely on all of our radar.
Cool.
I don't even like Ariel is such an iconic thing, and that show was so iconic. Y'all were on Heelys and stuff. I mean, tell us about like getting that role and performing that role every night.
Well, yeah, Heelys. Why that was one of the most fascinating rehearsal processes, because obviously that's something that you really have to figure out, because nobody, unless you're kids, like the kids that were flounders, who are now are grown people, but they were like zooming around because kids were the only ones that were playing on Heelys back then. And so all of us adults trying to figure out how to balance on our heels. But I had been an ice skater for 10 years. When I was growing up, that was my thing, was ice skating. So though it wasn't on wheels, I knew the feeling of my feet are gliding and my upper body is doing a whole other thing. So for me, I just was able to tap into that stuff, and that's kind of why, like, on a spiritual level too, it was so cool getting to play aerial, because it's like, oh, I have some practice with this type of movement and stuff. So it was really incredible, and just getting to come to New York for your first thing, being with this Disney family, is just about the greatest thing that you could ever ask for.
Absolutely. And I was thinking about you too, because so here we are in the midst of this global pandemic. Broadway is shut down, and of course, when they shut it down, there were some shows that were in tech. There were some shows that were just about to open that are just kind of furloughed now. And if memory serves, y'all were about to open, and then the Local One strike happened.
You're absolutely right. That happened.
So you might kind of be an expert in terms of sending a message to some of these shows who are just kind of like, okay, we want to open, but we don't know what's going to happen. What's kind of your message for people like that?
Well, I feel like even if you haven't had this happen, we can empathize with each other in the fact that in life, you can have planned your life that's like, here is how it's going to go. And then something comes that is a force that you cannot argue with. And so that's what I feel like is what I'm really feeling, as difficult as this time is I'm feeling how much people are wanting to connect and have just a full empathetic experience with each other. There isn't a day that goes by that someone from this community isn't reaching out or figuring out a way to do this. I mean, even what you're hosting this incredible live stream that Disney and Broadway Cares and Actors Fund, everybody came together to put this out for the people to see, not because it's going to do anything except bring complete joy and hopefully raise money to help each other out when the world opens up, or whatever we're going to try, I mean, for lack of a better phrase. So I'm really seeing the kindness, the connection, and that's what was happening when our show was postponed to open because of the strike. Everybody was we were connected. It's what can you do? You stay connected. Some people are still doing calls to rehearse or run songs together and stuff. And I just think that's the power of our community. You know that.
Absolutely. No, it's such a beautiful sentiment. I mean, all of your words are so well put. Thank you for that. It's such a beautiful sentiment, though, that like this thing that's so naturally isolating is still bringing us together in its own kind of way. We're still finding a way to do it. And I think that's just the power of humanity, but especially in our Broadway community.
Amen. It is. It's within our souls that we must do this. So we're singing, we're dancing, we're doing all kinds of stuff that we can do. I'm shocked at the kids that are still wanting to take masterclass stuff online. It just touches my heart so much. And I say, right now, there is no Broadway, there is no West End, there's no school shows, there's no tours, there's no place to do what we do. And yet, within each of us as artists, we feel told to still do the work and still practice our craft. It's the most extraordinary thing, and it's the power of the soul signatures that we have inside.
Absolutely. You mentioned Broadway Cares. I just want to remind everyone the reason that we're all doing this. Broadway Cares Equity Fights AIDS is raising money for everyone in our industry, both on and backstage, who might be struggling at this time. I wanted to remind our viewers that every donation our friends at home make will be matched dollar for dollar, so you can make twice the difference. So we appreciate everyone, all your involvement at home. And Sierra, of course, thank you for your talents always and for your time today. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Thank you for what you're doing. Thank you, Broadway Cares. Thank you, Disney. Thank you, all the people. Gratitude.
Absolutely. Attitude of gratitude. I love it.